Our economic laws have changed according to the American, in tune with the American laws. But our judiciary is still. I would first say you have to first look at the world economy and then come to Indian economy. Now Indian economy is integrated with. And one more thing where the government has to give priority is the reform of the agricultural sector. Women are equal to men in all respects. So gender equality is slowly emerging in. Hi, I am H. Ramakrishnan. I am a chartered accountant with more than 3 decades of experience. I was born in Nagarkovil, my mother's place, and my father's place is Karamana, a village hamlet in Trivandrum. I had my primary education in Shankara Subbayar Lower Primary School in Karamana and higher education in Sedu Lakshmi Bai English Medium School in Nagarkovil. After that, I had my graduation. I took my graduation from Scott Christian College, Nagarkovil. I had my CA articleship with K. Venkatachalam and Company under the principalship of CA R. Krishnan. And now I am a partner in RDA and Associates, Chartered Accountants. We are spread all over India. We have branches in Bhubaneswar, Calcutta, Guwahati, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Chennai. And I am also a director in Trivandrum Specialist Hospital, which is having BR Life SUT Pattam Hospital, a super specialty hospital. The main promoter of this hospital is Dr. Padma Shri Dr. B.R. Shetty of NMC Group, who is a multi-billionaire and one of the topmost businessmen in UAE. I am also the secretary of the Trivandrum branch of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and also secretary of an NGO called S.S. Ram Foundation. As regards the challenges faced by the chartered accountants, actually I would say we face a stiff challenge. We have always to be updated. The changes that is happening in the legislative framework, the way in which the business is done, the way in which corporate governance is shaping up, on all these areas we have to be updated, and it's a real challenge to be always updated. Chartered accountants earlier were mere back office executives, or they just compiling the financial accounts like that. From that stage, now they have moved to the center stage. They are the part of the management, not only part of the management, they are driving the company. You can see many chartered accountants as chairman, managing director, directors in leading companies all over the world and steering the company to greater heights in spite of multi-level challenges a company faces. A practicing chartered accountant has to be always updated, not only with relating to domestic changes but also international changes. Now a lot of cross-border transactions are taking place, and a chartered accountant has always to keep his eyes and ears open globally. And this challenge gives a tremendous opportunity for the chartered accountancy. For example, India having a population of 1.3 billion, having income tax payers of around 70 million, has only 135,000 practicing chartered accountants out of the 300 chartered accountants, total chartered accountants of number of 300, and the student strength is 1 million. So you can see the supply demand gap in the chartered accountancy practicing opportunities a chartered accountant has got, and he has to deal with a lot of areas from statutory audit, internal audit, management audit, due diligence, and to advise the management in corporate governance also. So this, and not only that, now the entire business world is conducted through technology. So a chartered accountant has to be always technologically equipped. So without the technological update, it will be very difficult for a new chartered accountant to survive in this world. So the new things, that is data mining, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, all these things, a chartered accountant has to be very much thorough. Then only he can survive. This throws tremendous opportunity. And if you see the demand supply trend in the job field, the chartered accountant always, the industry felt shortage for chartered accountants. So that is my overall view of the chartered account field. When somebody asks me the present situation of the Indian economy, I would first say you have to first look at the world economy and then come to Indian economy. Now Indian economy is integrated with the world economy. Indian economy has been opened up for the last two decades or so. So we have to first see the world economy. And the world economy right now is not doing well. The business has shrunk world over, and it has affected India also. The recent Moody rating reflects that, and they have also downgraded India's GDP growth to 5.8 from the earlier 6.2, and the alarming increase of debt to 3.7 from the earlier target 3.4. The slowdown in automobile industry and other manufacturing sector indicate that there is a slackness in demand, and this has led to slowdown in Indian economy also. Always technological disruption initially brings down the economy. The coming of Ola, etc. has led to the decline in the automobile production. Also the introduction of GST, the abolition of the check posts have increased the efficiency of the vehicle movement. Thereby the industry now requires less number of vehicles, trucks, than the earlier vehicles they required. This is what I read from an article by Ashok Leyland chief, why the truck market is now facing the recession. Also the GST has also brought some disruption. It is expected. All these changes in the initial stage will bring disruption. So Indian economy as a part of the world economy is now facing slowdown. But the Indian economy, I am very much hopeful. Still it is the fastest growing economy in the world as given by the IMF. And in the past 5 years or so, the number of persons below the poverty line have come down, and the gap has come down. The job opportunities for the below the poverty line people is improving. But still the job supply is still beyond what is expected, what is ideal. I am sure government is working on that. The slew of reforms, changes announced by our Honorable Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman clearly indicates that government is very well aware of this slowdown in economy, and they are up to steering the India out of this slowdown. It may take a couple of years to come out of this recession or slowdown. I am sure Indian government is capable of taking on this challenge. And one more thing where the government has to give priority is the reform of the agricultural sector. That is the key or main area which is pulling down the GDP, and that is the area which gives maximum jobs to the people of India. India is still a rural oriented country, and there the government has to give more focus to that area also. One more thing in the reforms, what I view is that our economic laws have changed according to the American in tune with the American laws. But our judiciary is still following the archaic UK system, judiciary. So the judiciary has also to be fine-tuned, reformed appropriately to keep pace with the technological changes, with the economic, the changed economic scenario. This is one of my observation, that is. Regarding the future plans for the inclusive growth of India, I'm sure Modi government will give top priority for that. One may remember that our former Prime Minister, Honorable late Rajiv Gandhi, confessed that out of 1 rupee that is spent by the government for the welfare of the common man, which is part of the inclusive growth, only 14 paise ultimately reaches the beneficiary. So already Modi government has taken care in this by introducing the direct transfer benefits and making all these underprivileged people a part of the banking system, which has to continue further. So the corruption, because of the multi-layered delivery of the government system, beneficiary systems, have led to the deepening of the poverty of the people. So this has already been plugged in, and this has to be strengthened further. As I earlier said, agricultural is the backbone of the Indian economy, and that has to be revolutionized. As well as the earlier Rajiv Gandhi government also tried to bring in the cold chain storage for the foods and all those things, but that has not materialized. That has to be given thrust, because what the farmer produces is not getting the price. Only the middlemen reach that price. When it reaches the market, it is some 300-400% of what the farmer gets, and he is not properly remunerated for the labor he has put in. And in fact, always he ends up in loss, and that is why we hear the story of the suicide of the farmers, trapped by the financial burden also. So the financial services to the farmers, to the small and medium enterprises, have to be strengthened. The flow of funds for them has to be strengthened. Proper insurance systems have to be put in place so that they are able to sustain and the Indian economy and in a way help boost the Indian economy also. And the skill development program has to be strengthened further. It has to be taken to the rural areas so that the young men and women are skilled enough not only to get employment in India but also abroad. So this is one key area which is being given top priority by Modi, has to be strengthened further. Also in the large industries, latest technology has to be put in. One of the main factors for India's lagging GDP has been we have not been able to get the latest technology. We are not able to tap it. So this area has also to be given focus. Research and development in India is not up to mark, so that has to be geared up to be at par with the, if not at par, at least a step behind the world standards in technology. This also will boost employment, and I am sure to boost the economy, Modi government will go for government spending in infrastructure so that more jobs are created and the inclusive growth of India will be sustained. That's all I have to say. You have asked me why Startup India has not taken off the way in which we all expected. And many startups have, you also mentioned that many startups have wound up and had a premature closure or something like that. In this regard, I think the CAs have a great role to play. They should be allowed to play a great role. simply giving money for an idea will not work. There has to be a proper monitoring whether money is spent judiciously for the purpose for which it has been given. So in the Startup India program, I don't see any mechanism wherein there is a provision for this progressing or monitoring of the startup, so that the funds has to be given in time but in a phased manner according to the progress they have indicated in their project report. So this has to be not only in startup, in any project this is lacking in India, and this is one area where the government has to utilize the service of the chartered accountants. Now actually one positive development in India is that ease of doing business in India has improved a lot as per the latest World Bank statement. This is a very positive statement. The business to succeed is an important factor in boosting India's economy. Must ingredients are fire in the belly. There should be fire in the belly, a passion for excellence, never say die spirit, and proper homework. Before starting a business, one has first spark will be an idea. So the idea has to be developed into a business plan. Proper research has to be done. Proper market study has to be done. For any business, market is the key. So unless otherwise you are very sure about your market space, you should not venture into business. So, and then only comes the cost of project, means of finance, and all those issues. So the idea, you have to critically analyze whether it has the market, and if the market is there, then if you properly set up your business, then definitely success will be there. And in any business, in the initial stage, there may be setbacks. So you should have the capacity or the energy to sustain the loss if at all it incurs. Sustainability is an important factor, and as you sustain, your success of your project will also be ensured. That's all I have to say about it. Asset and wealth management is a very, very important area. It is not only for the government, from each citizen, a definite plan or program should be there to build asset and then to manage it profitably. A country's economy, a government has to come with economic policy. A country is considered economically well off only when wealth is created. So there should be incentive. The wealth the government cannot create. They can only formulate policies to enable the citizen to create wealth. So creation of wealth is not a sin at all. There is the old socialist communist this thing is embedded in the mind of so many people that wealth creation is a sin. Unless otherwise incentive is given for wealth creation, nobody will have the initiative to create wealth. So once you create the wealth, then how to manage that wealth so that that wealth is leveraged properly to enhance the wealth, the value of the wealth we have created. So in this regard, the banking system, mutual funds, real estate, and export market all play a role. So each citizen should be given equal, fair, equitable opportunity to indulge in business or to indulge in creation of wealth. And he has to, as a responsible citizen, pay the tax also in accordance with the rules. The tax should not be high, should not be low, it should be in an optimum position, whereas he is able to pay tax and also able to create wealth. That is the thing. I hope government will work on these lines, and the people will also be educated about the wealth creation as well as wealth management. That's all. Turning point in my life, a game changer moment in my life. Without hesitation, I will say meeting of Dr. B.R. Shetty, and the way in which he has mentored me and he has given the support and all those things, and the belief he has got in me, that is, I would consider my, not only my turning point, the asset of my life. It was in late 90 that a client of mine who is close to Dr. Shetty also introduced me to him. And the first meeting itself went on very well. And I never imagined that he would follow up that meeting. And I thought I am one among the millions he has been meeting. And everybody knows Shetty, and there is no need that somebody should know me, who is totally a stranger to me. He followed it up, and he gave me opportunities to showcase my skills, and appreciated, encouraged, and has been giving more opportunities to me. So that is a great with great feeling I am saying that is undoubtedly my turning point in my life. My family is my backbone. The way in which I am freely able to focus on my profession is just because of my wife, who takes care of my family, which is still a joint family, very rare phenomenon nowadays, taking care of the extended family as well as my two children. I have two sons. The elder one is pursuing CA final, and the younger one is already completed 3 years with Tata Elxsi Technopark Trivandrum. He's a computer science, he's a electronics and communication engineer, and they have been groomed and brought up largely by my wife only, and I am only a friend or guide to them. And I would like to mention my mother, who lost my father when I was 9 and when she was 32 years old, with 6 children, 4 boys and 2 daughters. The way in which she took the calamity and the way in which he brought up in spite of all the odds is indeed amazing. She still continues to inspire me. Yatra naryastu pujyante ramanade tatra devada. So, when the woman is given the due importance, then only any profession will attain its success. Women are equal to men in all respects. So gender equality is slowly emerging in CA also. Out of the 300,000 chartered accountants, the percentage of women is just below 30%, and out of the 1 million CA students, 40% are women students. And the trend is that the growth rate of women joining the profession is on the increase. So I'm sure in 5 years' time, women will occupy at least 50% of the strength of the chartered accountancy profession. And the way in which the women CAs are performing or delivering is amazing, and they have proved their mettle, they have proved their caliber, and I am sure this will inspire the young women also to join this profession. And CA is one of the least expensive career and most prospective career one can aspire. So through this media, I would request all women students to join CA and become highly successful in their life.